Odoo can run one user or can run thousands of users. You can actually start your business in Odoo and it can be your system for the rest of your life.
Yeah, so tell me about how your business started, how you got into Odoo, and give me that whole history. Yeah.
We got into Odoo totally by accident. I have a small manufacturing company that has plastic products.
Mhm.
We were trying to run it off of a combination of applications. It's really accounting up to QuickBooks.
Mhm.
And it was impossible. It was impossible to do. So we started looking for a solution. We actually built a small web app that we could thought we could make it work on, and we ran it another year that way. But at the end of the day, we couldn't keep up with anything. No inventory control, no cost of goods accounting, really no overview of the business.
Mhm.
So I was just looking for a solution. One of my friends has a company, and he just had put Microsoft Dynamics in. I saw how much he spent on it. I said, well, my business isn't worth what he had to spend on it. So we saw Odoo and saw the cost of it and what it said it could do, and kind of went from there. We started setting it up ourselves with some help from Odoo,
Mhm.
using service pack hours, et cetera. But we immediately hit a point that we weren't going to be able to really do that without some help.
Mhm.
Engaged a couple of partners. They didn't really have the knowledge we needed here in the States. So my partner and I just decided we'll just try to do it ourselves. So we spent another few months trying to get it to where it would operate. And we had one of these weekend sessions where we just everything just kind of came together at one time,
Mhm.
where we were able to complete the transactions and watch it through manufacturing and keep up with everything. And from there, we put it in our other business, which is a retail tire distributor
Mhm.
for wholesale and retail, and implemented that. Ran across a couple of friends of mine that said, hey, that looks like a pretty interesting system. Could you help us do it? And that really launched us into being an Odoo partner
That's
and establishing
fascinating.
Bluemax Partners.
I love that it
Yeah.
was just a sort of happy accident, or
Yeah,
just you needed a solution. Odoo was the solution, and
right.
now it's
It's a great
all about
platform
Odoo,
to build on.
right?
That was the thing. And then one of the other things we needed is an integrated credit card application. So we built a integrated credit card application for Odoo, and we actually offer that as well under Bluemax Pay.
Nice.
So it's integrated into point of sale, sales
Mhm.
orders, accounting, web, payment links, all in one solution. And one of the unique pieces we also have is the ability to tokenize cards and save cards on file for customers that have
Okay.
reoccurring charges, weekly or monthly or subscriptions.
Excellent. Very nice.
Yes,
So when you first stumbled on Odoo for your first business, what
yes.
was the very first app you used? Do you remember, like, we did this and then this and just
The
kind of?
very first thing we did is, of course, load the sales app
Mhm.
and the manufacturing app. That was really the goal, is
Mhm.
figuring out how we could control that.
Okay.
Although we were manufacturing products, we really didn't know what we were doing. We just gathered things and put them on the table and put them together, right?
That's manufacturing, just
But
making something, right?
but how much time did it take? How much did it cost? How
Mhm.
do I keep up with it? How do I reorder it?
Mhm.
And building our first bomb was that weekend. That highlight of that
That magic
weekend.
weekend where
Yeah, it's
everything
like,
had that aha
oh,
moment,
look at this! Look what we can do.
And then
So
you could do variants on the
that's right.
on those
That's
bills
right.
of materials. Yep.
That's right. We actually did that a year later. Even though we had multiple colors and everything else, we built um, just from knowledge. I mean, we didn't know how to do it, so we built a bomb for every color, and we
Mhm.
had 900 something different configurations,
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
only to learn that we really only need 13. So, but we evolved. We evolved
That's
into it.
fantastic. Oh, that's wonderful.
So that led us into our ability to help other people with it.
Mhm. That is the most unique story of any partner coming into being,
Oh,
honestly.
great.
Is just, learning it on your own and having other people go, hey, can you give me a hand with this?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fascinating. Why did you choose Odoo then, to be partners with? I mean,
You know, it looked like it could do everything you'd want to do in the future.
mhm.
And it looked like that the company was positioned to grow. So I've been in this technology industry my whole life, and I'm a bleeding edge person. You know what that is?
Yeah, always wanting to get on the cusp of the new technology.
Yep. But
Yep.
didn't care if it bled a little bit.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we could always put a
We need
Band-Aid
people
on it.
like you to test
So
out all the new things.
and
Yeah.
and Odoo really is that. It's a bleeding edge product that continues to mature, and I'm okay with that. It shows me that they're innovative and thinking of the future. Just what we've seen today was very impressive for 18 coming out.
That's one of my questions. It's actually not on the list, but
Yes.
what are you most excited about that's coming out in 18?
More automation and accounting look very interesting. Uh, I've been in retail wholesale distribution my whole life, so I'm fascinated by point of sale. And I started with point of sale in 14. Kind of need a lot of work.
Yeah.
15 was better, 16 was better, 17's better, 18's even better.
Yep.
So anybody looking at it, that's a neat tool. I'm the typical small business guy needs flexibility. Point of
Absolutely.
sale, where the original design was, okay, you're going to sell these 12 items, and that's all you're going to sell, and you're going to restock them, and you're going to sell them again. That's not the real world. You need different colors, you need different configurations, you need modifications, you need options.
Yep.
And looks like we're getting that with 18. And that makes it easier for a entrepreneur to run.
Yeah, it's very adaptable now to all kinds of needs. So
One
yeah,
of
you
the
got to
things,
be flexible.
one of the things that I always tell people is if you're an entrepreneur and you're going to start a business, a small business, Odoo can run one user or it can run thousands of users.
Yeah.
You can actually start your business in Odoo, no matter what it is, and it can be your system for the rest of your life.
Yep.
It has that flexibility and compatibility, and you can have programs written for you if you need to, if you have to do something very specific. But I'll tell you one of my other little deals I tell everybody: let Odoo do what it does. So many people, especially when they start looking at it, well, can it do this? The answer is yes. But do you want it to? Because all you're doing most of the time is complicating what's there. If you will just look at how Odoo operates and spend a few more minutes learning how it operates, it will adapt to just about anything. One of my customers said, well, how is it going to be different in my store versus this other store? I said, it's actually going to work exactly the same. We're going to change your business philosophy and how you approach the business because it has all the tools there. You just have to know how to engage them and how to use them. And just like me not knowing how to do the variants at the begin with, it'll do more than you think, but you really got to get in it and use it and then decide what you want to do different. I see so many people wanting to immediately make it do something that they think it needs to do, only to spend the money on developing it. And then when it's time to actually use it, we end up using what's in base Odoo.
Yep. Out of the box is usually the best.
It is.
Yeah.
And everybody says it, and it's it doesn't have to be a long implementation either. If you can just get the customer or your opportunity to understand, let's start with this part. Let's add the next part. Let's add the next part because we're teaching them as we go.
Yeah.
And after they learn some of the functionality, the little switch will turn on in their head. Can it do this? It actually can. It's in this module over here.
Yep.
Now, how would you like it to work?
Excellent. So speaking of implementations, do you have any that sort of stand out that were either maybe challenging or unique or, they just might want to share with us today?
Yeah, I can share a few. And honestly, myself, we have 3 different companies running on Odoo. So we have the manufacturing company, the retail distribution, tire business, and then we have a small transportation and a logistics company running on it. So I learned a lot of it there. But we just finished an implementation with a good friend of mine who owns a chain of stores that sell fencing and flooring. And we did his first store, we did the second store, and we did the third store. And every store we learned more and we taught them more. And a lot of the things that we put in the first store, by the time we got to the last store, we had gone back and changed and really gone back to base Odoo in many different ways.
So it evolved along the
It
way.
kind of evolved along the way
Nice.
because it is a very specific business. They have specific requirements on how it flows through their building and how they purchase it and how they keep the inventory value and all. But at the end of the day, if I could tell anything to any of the partners, spend a little bit more time training the customer what it can do up front. It will save them a lot of time having to go put things in and take things out.
Yep.
Because I experienced it myself. I mean, I tell everybody I learned everything the hard way. I started with 14 and then I went to 15 Community Edition so I could learn more of it. And then I went to 15 Enterprise and we upgraded to 16 and 17 in our companies. And every one of those was a learning experience because it evolves. If you want something that's just going to sit on the shelf and be the same for 20 years, you don't need Odoo. If
Yeah.
you want something that keeps up with the way business is changing, Odoo is about the only thing I've ever seen that'll do it.
That's music to our ears.
Yep.
We love to hear that.
Yep.
How about the Odoo Partner Program? How has that helped your business grow?
Well, we didn't have a business before it.
There you go.
This was another one of those unique deals. It was time to renew our licenses. And I forgot who was working with us, but had mentioned the partner program. He goes, "You seem to know a lot about Odoo. Have you ever considered being a partner?" I said, "No, not really." He said, "Well, here's the cost of it. And you get a discount." So
Worked out.
that was interesting.
Yeah.
From there, that first year after we became a partner, the next month we went to Belgium and we went to the smart classes there and we went to the Odoo experience and learned so much more. And this coming up will be our third year going.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask that later too, if you've ever been. So
We did.
excellent.
And it really explained a lot of what we were experiencing. Odoo, was written in Belgium. It's built for Europe, and it doesn't exactly flow the way most people in the United States think. It doesn't do anything wrong. It just does it differently. And once we had gotten our head around how Odoo operates and could explain it to everyone, it made a lot of sense. It's actually much simpler than it seems. Another partner that I met there actually gave me a diagram, and it showed the flow of a sales order from a quote and what it did, not just in the modules, but what it did behind the scenes as well.
Okay.
Once I got that concept, that actually is the concept of Odoo, period. Purchasing is just the opposite of a sales order. The manufacturing process is a stop off in that process. So if you like diagrams, that's the best way I could explain to understand how Odoo, the best way to show how Odoo operates. So we use that when we're going in and talking to the customers to begin with. Odoo is an ERP system. When you say ERP system, you've lost them already in most cases.
Yeah.
But it is the only thing you're going to need to run your business. I mean, you can, and we live this way. All of our products, projects, development are in Odoo. Our payment processing business runs on Odoo. So it has its own instance of Odoo that's just processing payments. Our partner business runs on Odoo. We use every function in there because once we're using it, we can show our customers how we're using it and we can show the capacity of its operation. It's a great product. I mean, you don't need anything else.
I mean, I agree. Odoo is pretty much a one-stop shop.
I mean, the last thing they put in it was Sheets, and now we don't need Excel.
Exactly. Yeah. One by one, we're
That's
eliminating the need for anything else,
right.
which is pretty great.
That's right.
What is your favorite Odoo app?
Oh, my favorite Odoo
I know it's
app.
hard to pick just one.
Yeah. I mean, you got to say sales just because it's where all the revenue generates. I'm sales driven.
Yep.
Somebody in the manufacturing business would definitely say manufacturing
Yeah.
because they can keep up with so much more. Like I said, I'm a point of sale guy. I like point of sale. I believe that's evolving, and I love the direction that they're going with the restaurant module, with all that functionality. would like to see some more payment integration, and we actually have built a model for that ourselves that we've been sharing with Odoo, and have visited the San Francisco office showing them that, and look
Nice,
forward to
excellent.
showing it some more. But I guess sales would be the one. Now, from a business owner standpoint, I believe it was 17 is when it really the new dashboard, the executive overview with the little meters, I guess you'd call them, and all the statistics in one place. I mean, once you have everything in Odoo configured and it's operating correctly,
Oh
you
yeah,
don't need a lot. You
yeah.
just come in the beginning of the day, you log in, look at, okay, here's everything going on. Here's my metrics. Here's how our business looks. And if it's starting to dip, you can see it right away. Rather than waiting for your accountant to tell you in a month, hey, you got a problem.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I love. I have my saved searches, so everything is always just what I need to do. So every time I go into all the different projects or tasks, I only see what involves me, and it
Right.
cuts down on all that extra time that people waste, which is Odoo's a time saver. So
So from our business support for the partners business and supporting our customers, we have been spending a lot of time configuring the customer portal to be the help desk, and to be able to see their support tickets and be able to
excellent.
look at their purchases and their subscriptions and everything, and been training them on that, because we're all automating, and we can't answer the phone call to say, what is this invoice for? We're teaching them, go to their portal. It has all your information. We've modified the portal a little bit where they actually log in and put their help desk tickets in the portal,
Okay.
and then they can track them, and they get notifications and emails and everything when things have been solved. But that's not only good for us, it's good for the customer, because for our standpoint, we've got their exact requirements. They're not calling in on the phone. Somebody's having to type it all in. A step might be missed. We've got it to where you can put an image in there, and you can put a video link or whatever, so we can see exactly what the issue is to resolve the customer's issue.
Excellent. That's very good.
Yep.
Anything else you want to share about Bluemax or the whole Odoo
Well,
experience and just
it's been a very interesting ride, for the last 3+ years. Learned so much about a technology I probably wouldn't have even tried to learn about, because of the modular based. Many people say, well, I don't understand. I said, let's take it to a simple explanation. It's an iPhone, and you add the apps to run your business. It's the database that's running behind it that you don't have to worry about. You just need to decide how you want the apps to work. Once you decide that, it makes it much easier to understand, I think. And, it kind of can be overwhelming when you go to the Odoo website and you see all of these modules. They don't need to install every module. They just need to have what they need to run that business. Just knowing that if they want to expand that business or grow that business, it's there for the future.
that's right.
Yeah.
We grow as you go.
That's right. But, our Bluemax Partner Program and our Bluemax Pay program are, always adding other functionality and other dynamics. And we're primarily focused on sales, marketing, distribution, retail, wholesale, logistics functions. So we're constantly adding things like that.
Oh, this was such a lovely talk. It was so great
Thank you.
to talk to you, Chris.
I
The most
appreciate
interesting
the
origin story I've
invitation.
ever heard.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly.
We love it. We, of course, displaying here, and we'll be in the Belgium event, coming up to the Odoo event again
Yep.
in a month or so.
Yeah, and you got to hear version 18 before anyone else.
I
which
do.
is
Now,
so
I just
cool.
want to know where I can get it so we can start working.
Yeah.